This is Keith from BeatTheCasino.com. Join us on June 21st in Las Vegas for the BaseCamp Baccarat Seminar, Ascend to the Summit. Okay, Keith and Kevin here from BeatTheCasino.com. Kevin, how you doing out there in Las Vegas?
Hot.
Hot.
It's getting hot, man. It's getting hot. I've been sitting in the pool now. It's that time of year.
That's great. I'll be out on June 21st, as you know, and staying for a couple of weeks. And we're going to go ahead and talk about, which, by popular demand always is, when is the next seminar? Well, the next seminar is June 21st in Las Vegas, Nevada. We're going to have it at the dealer school, and they have a new one. Crescent has a new dealer school, relatively new one. I guess he's been there for about a year. Rick, our host out there at the Crescent Dealer School. So we'll be having it there. And of course, it's, available to anyone who wants to join up to the forum and our current members. And, we want to tell you about what we're going to cover. We're calling it your kind of invention here, kind of naming convention is the BaseCamp. And
the Baccarat BaseCamp.
The Baccarat BaseCamp. So we've got a lot of stuff that we're actually going to talk about. And, one of them, of course, is, we've reorganized a lot on the forum with the videos and stuff, but also, too, we've made it a lot more easier to follow what folks and their specialty, among them, GBO9, Sherry, Action Mike, yourself, XDN, and everybody else has their own kind of threads going on and videos that make it a little bit easier. So, that's one of the things that we're going to cover out there is how do you tap into all the resources at Beat the Casino, Kevin?
Absolutely. I consider maybe one of our greatest, resources is our human resources. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yourself, Mike, mentioned Sherry, GBO9, different people that have, over the years,
contributed so much. Yeah, exactly right. So they're all there and they all have their added their novelty to it. Of course, we also made it a lot easier to go ahead and we're going to go over everything at the forum or at the seminar, rather, all the legacy systems, and we made it extremely easy to get to. And we're going to kind of give you a big outline that I'm working on, and I've sent that to you of everything that we're going to cover. And in some of the posts, you can see it. As we get closer, I'll post more and more of all the topics that we want to cover. And, of course, the 5D, and you can learn that in the forum, but then you can expand it to 14D by using all the resources in the forum, System 40, +1, the parlay system, all the new stuff that's coming up, flat betting, progression betting, you name it. We're going to get through it all and all the new stuff. And of course, of note, we have 4 new things that we're going to cover, that we're going to cover at the seminar, which of note. First of all is the dynamic threes strategy that GBO9 has developed. Join us at the Baccarat BaseCamp Seminar in Las Vegas on June 21st. Learn to win and make cash flow. This will be the most consequential seminar on Baccarat, including the dynamic threes strategy tweaks. Keith and Kevin will show you how to beat stadium and online. Win them all. Don't miss out. Sign up now and start winning thousands beating the game. Kevin.
Yes.
Seems to be a lot of people are just tremendously successful playing that. I have been, and a lot.
I have been.
Yeah, Action Mike has done a lot with that. Combined it with the +1 betting that he kind of favors all the time, and the threes strategy. And he's played that at Commerce Casino. He's going out every week and has done tremendous. I mean, he's last trip was well over $5,000 that he made. So he's having tremendous success with it there. In addition to all the other things that we're going to talk about. And I know one of the things that you had mentioned to me that we kind of really never really covered well was the money management, kind of how to manage the money and how to really take advantage of this. I mean, we want to go a lot deeper than, well, just have this much money to play with. And then when you get this, stop. And when you get here, play some more, get to a
So you
stop.
said stop win and stop loss. That's what we used to call it. Yeah.
Yeah, and you have a big program of really how you've been managing that. I know you've been a big advocate of flat betting, and also kind of raising the stakes on some approaches. I know
Yes.
you did the hit and go type thing where you've really increased the stakes, and went to the 2-bet type scenario too. And you're going to talk about that quite a bit too.
Absolutely. I mean, again, there's it's hard to believe. Just as our last seminar, which was, I don't know, was it a year ago? Something.
Something like that. Yeah, it's been that long.
But the idea is that so many things have not. It's not that like the casinos changed or anything. You know what I mean?
No.
But so many. We've got some other members of the forum who have helped, if you will, in sharing what they've learned and what works for them. And you've done a great job of going through and recategorizing everything so people can find all the legacy systems, as you mentioned them, things like that. And it's not like it's been a static, oh yeah, well, just go to the
it's always moving forward. And one of the things that, and we always knew this and we always talked about it, but now we've really drilled down, and so has GBO9, and one of the things we talked about is when you see that twist, as we call it, in the shoe. In other words, well, here's a shoe, like even if you play V87, which of course is your approach, or 5D. Okay, well, this is a great 5D shoe, and the disparity is working.
Correct.
And then what separates the winners from the losers is knowing when that twist is coming, when it's like, I either got to change my approach or I have to stop. And I know you and GBO9 have done an awful lot of research and strategizing with that, particularly with GBO9. He's always comparing and contrasting the OTB4L strategy and the time before last, and he categorizes the games like that. And he believes that most games fall into those two categories. So it's a real important concept that we're gonna talk about at the base camp, so to speak, and just try to pull that all together and make it really a dynamic thing. And the base camp means these are the things you should know before you kind of ascend to the summit of being, a real pro at it, and able to make some real coins at it. So
and the important thing is that the concept of base camp, I kind of liken it to people climbing Mount Everest or something like that. You know what I mean? It's freezing cold outside. They can get lost in a blizzard, so they kind of hang together. And base camp is about talking, like we're doing at the seminar, about our experiences, and then making sure that newer members who don't have as much experience realize they can. If anybody wants to call me, give me a call. I'll spend hours talking with you. You know what I mean? You want to come to Vegas? I'll meet with you, and I'll spend hours talking with you.
I know.
But the idea of base camp is really just togetherness, and to understand that this is not just like one video says do this, one says do that, and you don't know what to do. The idea is to help you as an individual figure out what your style is and what your means are, your money situation, and then how to capitalize on that for you particularly.
That's right. And the thing about coming there to the seminar is, I mean, we're going to start in the morning, and we're going to go as long as everybody pretty much wants. We're going to start at 9, and we're going to go. We're not having to get together afterwards. We'll have a little informal one on Friday night beforehand, but then Saturday we're going to stay and go play or whatever you guys want to do all day. Right. Everybody will be at your disposal, and we'll get you squared away.
Well, and the fact that whenever we have the seminars to the dealer school, it's always beneficial to the people that come to the seminar, because we're actually in a casino environment. I mean, this is where they train people to deal, Baccarat in the casino. And so there's tables there. We can play, practice, whatever. And it's just it's a fantastic thing. one of the things I want to stress though is that BaseCamp is not about basics. Okay.
No.
We're going to have the basics covered, but that's not what this seminar is about. The seminar, again, is to regroup, get everybody, knowing that whatever direction they feel the forum is moving, or whatever parts of the forum they want to, work with or utilize to their advantage, how to do that. And, show them, and obviously some of the other attendees will, do just that. But that's the idea. BaseCamp, again, it's just like whenever you're in doubt, you've got a place to go. You've got friends.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And every time we get together, we always have a great time at the seminar, and then go play. And, stadium has become really big. We can run over to Palace. Who knows where we'll end up? But, we usually run over to Palace Station, up to Durango, over to the Gold Coast, sometimes the Strip casinos to play a little Baccarat. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to be, it's going to be an all-day thing. So, if you plan on attending and signing up for the seminar, go ahead. If you're not a member, get yourself a membership and sign up for the seminar. Of course, the link will be below, and, we look forward to doing that. A couple other things I was mentioning about, some strategies that are new that we're going to be talking about. I know Sherry is going to be her first seminar where she's going to do a little bit of talking about her Palace Station strategy, which I'm really interested to see that. When I was out last time, I stayed at Palace Station there, and her and a couple players were behind me. And I was all proud of myself because I was up like $400 or $500. And I said, how are you doing here at Stadium? She whips it out and shows me her card. She goes, I'm up 2,500. I said, well, what are you doing? She says, well, I'm using some new betting approach to some of the approaches that we were doing. I said, well, man, you gotta get this on the forum. And of course she did. So it is on the forum, and, she's going to give you the kind of, ins and outs of it and really explain it there at the seminar. So if you're interested in that, it's kind of a really cool thing. So, and again, with the money management thing, again, we've kind of cursory covered that, but we really got to show you how to manage your funds and how to, think about the bankroll and how to really capitalize on keeping it in your pocket, and but being able to play the game also too. You can't play the game by going in and making 2 bets an evening and think you're actually going to turn it around. That statistically isn't significant. There's a lot of guys that profess that, but we're going to teach you how to really play the game, and there's a happy balance in there of risk versus reward, and when to up the stakes. A lot of guys go, well, I'm going to bet $25. Then when I get up to $1,000 in my bankroll, I'm going to double the stakes. No, you really don't want to do that. So we're going to really dive into that and show you the risk versus reward type approach to that sort of stuff. So, Kevin, any closing thoughts? Like I said, it's June 21st here, 2025. It's at the Crescent Dealer School in Las Vegas. Sign up at beatthecasino.com.
It's not just the seminar; it's the whole weekend.
It's the whole weekend. Yeah,
it's not just like 8 hours of whatever.
No, it's going to be.
I've probably been over the years now, Keith. I've probably been to 15 seminars.
At least we've done at least. And, sometimes we've done 2 or 3 a year. So
and even I still am amazed at each time. I come away with things that I didn't really focus on as much, before the seminar.
Yeah.
And again, more importantly is that, we want to make sure that players at all levels of experience, and we'll call it ability, whatever you want to call it, we're treated, everybody's equal.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And this is not like a lecture series or anything like that.
It's going to be hands-on.
Sharing and passing on information. A lot of it's on the forum, but it's sometimes a lot easier to understand when you can ask questions, while it's going on, as opposed to reading it on the forum and saying, I'm not sure I really know what that means or how to do that, or.
Right. So, well, one of the things too, Kevin, is of course, if you're not a member yet, my suggestion, and everybody thinks, well, there you are selling. Well, of course, we want people to join the forum. Sign up for the forum. Get all these approaches, or as many as you can, before the seminar in your head. Like, we haven't even talked about the 10 best bets booklets and System 40 and OTB 4L. Understand that before you come to the forum, or before you come to the seminar. And get all the betting strategies in your head, and when you come, the richness of everyone being there and being able to help you will further enhance your learning experience, and really ultimately make you just a phenomenal player, Baccarat. Plus, like Kevin said, man, this is an all weekend thing. It's not just one day. So we'll be doing it all weekend. We'll play more Baccarat. You'll be tired of playing by the time you get done with this. So.
Yeah, wait till I get into the derived rooms with everybody. Yeah, really understand.
I mean, what's so funny is it's like, okay, so everybody goes, what are you going to cover, man? We just go with the flow. A lot of times it's like all the things I talked about, and then now I just mentioned, well, the 10 best bets, and that's expanded to a couple more good bets with the 3 strategy. And what about the derived roads? Are we looking at that? Yeah. And so it's like how to find your niche. What are you comfortable with? What do you like to look for? And what are the triggers that say, okay, this is a game that I could win? And when you're in the game, where's that twist in the shoe where you just it's either twisting that I can play or twisting for you to change strategies or get out. And that's what makes a great Baccarat player. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And very important that you mentioned something I just had to comment on, and that is that not every shoe is winnable. Okay.
Right.
First, we're playing an educated guessing game to begin with. It's 50-50 over the long haul, but we don't know where we are in that long haul, whether we're, right in the middle of it, the beginning of it, the end of it, whatever. So it's an educated guessing game. Okay. However, there are tells, if you will, there are clues as to what are the better bets, the better and best bets. And that's to understand all these, things that have been worked upon, for years and years and tested and, I can't imagine people not wanting to come to the seminar. You know what I mean? It's incredible how much your skill set will elevate, in just a short period of time, when you get to speak with people that have gone through this for perhaps longer periods of time than you have.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, somebody said to me, well, it's an educated guess. Well, of course it is. Everything's an educated guess. Right. And of course, that's better than a mindless strategy. Okay. So you're thinking.
Right. It's not throwing dart.
Right. You're thinking, here's the relevant statistics. Here's what I'm looking for. Now I'm going to make a bet. And you only need a little bit of an edge. That's all you need. So that's what we're going to teach you. That's what everybody who comes to the seminar knows. And, everybody says, well, why don't you play? Well, you know what? We do play. We play all the time. And, here's one of the things, when they talk about credibility, well, why do you teach? Well, because people ask us to, because we have the forum. And look, I've been doing this since 1995. I've seen a lot of people selling Baccarat systems, approaches, this, that, and the other thing come and go. But we've been here the whole time, and we're still doing seminars in Vegas. We still have members in their club. If we didn't know anything, nobody would be a member, but people.
That's exactly right.
And, that's because we get to know each other. We don't take your money and run away. We're going to set with you. We're going to get you to understand these concepts, and we're going to do everything we can to turn you into a consistent winner, Kevin.
Hey, about a week ago, I was at the Durango Casino, which is, kind of one of the newest casinos here in Las Vegas, part of the Stations Group. And I was playing the stadium, and there, 4 games going on, two dealers. They each deal 2 games, live dealers.
You know what you're going to say. Go ahead.
Somebody was sitting next to me, and he kept looking at me, and I kept thinking, why is this person looking at me, so much? And finally he said, are you one of those guys that makes all those videos?
Yeah.
I said, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Which one?
I gave him those Beat the Casino cards, believe it or not, I do. And I still use them. And I gave him one, and he called me the next day, and he says, is it too early to call you? And I said, no. I said, let's get together. Let's have lunch or breakfast or whatever you want to do. And I spent like 3 hours with the person. I didn't even know him. I mean, the person sitting next to me. You know what I mean?
There you go.
And it become kind of a friend actually. So
yeah, good. Well, that happens to me all the time. Last time me and Mike were at the Durango, and I put a video up of it actually. A guy named Fred come up. He goes, "Hey, aren't you the guy from Beat the Casino?" I go, "Yeah." That's happened all the time to me. Go get my hair cut. Somebody cutting whatever, not cutting my hair, but shaving my head. Hey, aren't you the guy from? Yeah, that's me. I've been watching your videos and stuff, and I really appreciate that. But make sure you subscribe then if you're watching us. So hit the like and subscribe button, or tell a friend, or hey, if you really want to get serious, come on over and join us. So anyway, Kevin, we got June 21st. If you're not a member and want to come, sign up. The link will be below. We hope to see you out there. If you are a member, you know the routine. Come on, sign up early. We need our head count, and we'll get you squared away. Me and Kevin will be there. Action Mike, Sherry, and a bunch of other folks will be there. So we'll get you squared away. Kevin, any closing thoughts?
Yeah, but it's one last thing, and that is I just thought of we have some members, and I'm sure there are people that will see this video, whatever. Who play online because they don't have a lot of casinos near them. You know what I mean? And so there's a tremendous series of, I'm going to call them apps now because it's more than one that deal with, the various ways that you can play, online and have a tool on your handheld phone that'll help you decide what to do next based on what's happened so far in the show.
Well, the 5D app, or actually it's the 7D app, is just, it's incredible. Yeah, it's incredible. It shows you the disparity, shows you where the biggest disparity is. XDN, our app developer, has done a tremendous job. We have the V87 app. All those apps are available if you like to play online, set with your phone. And I'll tell you, if you have the discipline to sit there and follow the app, especially like one with like a V87, what a tremendous way to play, because the nice thing is the game is so fast online that you can always wait for a great game when the disparity is such that it makes a time to make an intelligent bet. So I'll put the links below.
Computer does the thinking for you.
And it does. So anyway, okay, Kevin. Well, listen, we'll see everybody on June 21st in Las Vegas at the Crescent Dealer School. All the information is down below or wherever else I can get this video. So thanks a lot, Kevin.
Not a problem. You have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye. Join us at the Baccarat BaseCamp seminar in Las Vegas on June 21st. Learn to win and make cash flow. This will be the most consequential seminar on Baccarat, including the Dynamic Threes strategy tweaks. Keith and Kevin will show you how to beat Stadium and online. Win them all. Don't miss out. Sign up now and start winning thousands beating the game.